Welcome back to the Prep Lab. This is Math Lesson 402, Unit Circle, and these are some problems I've taken directly off of the ACT, and we're going to see how the unit circle and sines and cosines work out on the ACT. Let's go right to the first problem. This is a number 59 out of 60, so it's supposed to be really hard. And it says, in trigonometry, an angle of negative 7 pi over 6 radians has the same sine and cosine as an angle, but to the following degree measurements. So if I draw a unit circle, what they're asking me is, what's an ugly unit circle? Negative 7 over 6 pi takes me right here. Just like 30 degrees is pi over 6, 7/6 is right here. So this is 180 degrees minus 30, or 150. It's a really easy problem. If you just study a little bit of the unit circle, you'll be able to get a 59 correct in seconds. Here's another problem. It's a 54. These are supposed to be really hard. And it says, which of the following graphs in the standard xy coordinate plane is the graph of y equals sine squared plus cosine squared? If you watch the unit circle one, or you've taken trigonometry, you know that sine squared plus cosine squared is always equal to 1. It's always equal to 1. The answer is H, because it's always 1. Here's another problem. Look, a 56. These are supposed to be ridiculously hard. And I showed in the last one that sine squared plus cosine squared is always equal to 1. Well, what's 1 minus cosine squared? That equals sine squared. So in this problem, the square root of 1 minus cosine squared divided by sine x, I could put a sine squared in here. And what's the square root of sine squared? Sine. And what's sine over sine? 1. 1 minus sine squared is equal to cosine squared. So this is cosine squared. The square root of cosine squared is cosine. So this cancels to 1. This is 1 plus 1, or 2. Here's a problem that's a number 60, and it's supposed to be ridiculously hard. You've studied this in geometry, and you study it a little bit in trigonometry. It isn't directly trigonometry, but it's related to angles on a circle, so I thought I'd throw it in here. Plus, it's a number 60. An angle in the standard xy coordinate plane has a vertex at the origin, which all trigonometry unit circles have their vertex at the origin, and its initial side is the positive x-axis, just like the unit circle. The measure in the standard position, know that word, standard position, meaning angle is a circle, and here is my standard position, standard being an angle that comes up counterclockwise from the x-axis. It says it has an angle of 1,573 degrees. Each of the following has the same terminal side except 1,573 degrees. Well, what do? We divide it by 360, and we see that it goes around 4 times with a remainder of 133 degrees. So the terminal side is 133. Yes, you have to divide 1573 by 360 and get a remainder. The TI-84 has a remainder function on it. Go find it. You can do these ones quickly. So 133 degrees is eliminated because that is the terminal side. What about the rest of these angles? Well, 133 plus 360 is 493. If I go to 133 degrees, right up about here, and I take the negative, starting at 0, I go all the way around negative, that gives me negative 227. So G is eliminated. 227 minus 360 going around 1 and 1 time and another 277 is negative 587. We've eliminated 4 out of the 5 answer choices. That means 573 is not equal to 1,573. That's the obvious answer because it's 1,573. So if I subtract off 1,000, it doesn't make sense. That's lesson M402.2, Unit Circles Problems.